What inspired you to build a second Krusty Krab right next door to the original?
Money!
So the new Nintendo Direct came out, and overall it was kind of promising. The system looked pretty good and advanced. It looked like it actually played games without terrible frame rates. They finally got some GameCube games on the Nintendo Switch Online, finally bring back some Kino, and we got new Mario Kart and an actual brand new Donkey Kong game. So what could possibly go wrong?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I wouldn't lie that this is actually a really bad time for Nintendo. First of all, the price. Now, I'm gonna be that guy here. I don't think the price of the console is that bad. If anything, I think it's a fair price, since it's a very advanced console, and especially with the Mario Kart game in there. However, the Mario Kart game alone is a different story, because it's $80. I mean, Jesus, what the fuck does this Mario game have? I guess the open world, but really, $80? Like, I can understand that games are really expensive to make now. It still kind of seems like a big ripoff, especially when it's a Mario Kart game. And it's even more bizarre given the fact that the Donkey Kong game and the other games like it are kind of lower prices. I mean, Donkey Kong's like $10 cheaper, and it looks way better. So what the hell is the thought process there? What I'm even more surprised is how much backlash it came. On the one hand, I'm actually kind of happy and glad that people are going against Nintendo. On the other hand, I'm actually kind of pissed. Simply because it's only now, fucking now, that people are pissed at Nintendo. It seems that it's not as simple as it is. A lot of people think it's because of the tariffs that's happening, with some suggesting this is Nintendo predicting what the price would be. Even though apparently it didn't come into effect till later on, that in my understanding, other countries are not getting it any cheaper anyway. But apparently these tariffs do affect the world in some shape or form. If anything, most of the world was preparing for the worst. Some of which actually did not like each other. And apparently from my understanding, Nintendo was trying to find a country that would be hit by the tariffs, like Vietnam, only to find out later that he's gonna hit everybody, especially Vietnam. It was so bad that Nintendo had to delay the pre-orders in North America, which means it's not just hitting a lot of Nintendo products, but all electronics, which means you might get $1,000 PlayStation 6s and Xbox 27s. Ain't living in America awesome? Yeah, a little update for the future. Apparently Trump's tariffs are now paused right now, for at least 90 days. And apparently electronics are exempt from the tariffs from my understanding, which to be fair, it could be switched up there too. Who knows at this point? I mean, he has concepts of a plan after all.
Have concepts of a plan.
Another fact I should point out is also inflation. Yeah, I know it's not as big of a deal as the tariffs, but it's still kind of a part of it. Which, to be fair, I'm no economist, but it basically shows how much the economy has changed. And given these prices, it seems we're not in a good economy anyway. What about other countries? Because they're also very, very pricey. Now, I actually have a theory on this, which kind of makes sense once you get down to it. You see, the yen in Japan is extremely weak, and this is an extremely advanced console. So if I'm correct, they probably made it more pricey to simply make up for it in other countries. Now again, I know economists, and I might be wrong on this, but it kind of makes sense once you get down to it. Now, whether or not this was based on the tariffs or not, I think we can all agree on this. It was an awful, stupid-ass decision for Nintendo to become extremely greedy in the worst time possible. Why would you want to do all these prices and extra DLC shit when we're all in the worst time economically, especially in the US? It was so bad that even Reggie got involved. Reggie.
Come on, Reggie, give us Mother 3!
How about this instead?
And I should clarify, I'm not trying to say that we should all kiss up to Big Daddy Nintendo. I'm not trying to justify what they're doing. In anything, I agree that what Nintendo is doing is bullshit. My problem is that it's only now that people are criticizing Nintendo when this is just nothing new. Where were all you people when these prices were extremely high back then? Why do you think they had to dumb down these prices eventually when they didn't sell well? Even back in the 80s and 90s, this was already a problem, to the point that other companies use that to their advantage.
Wow, Sonic's fast too.
No, over here.
I like Genesis, and it costs a lot less.
And a larger price tag. The choice is simple. Sega Genesis.
But kid, that game
I'll
there.
take Sonic and Genesis.
It's a whole lot more for a whole lot less.
I knew that.
How can you feel really betrayed when Nintendo has always been like this? Nintendo never cared about you in the first place. They only care about your money. That's it. They never give a shit about you. Nintendo is literally the Disney of video games. The plumber is no different than the mouse. Where were all you people when Nintendo has done all these terrible things back then? If it was like Sony or Microsoft, people would really be pissed at that shit. But because it was Nintendo, somehow they got scot-free from that shit. And it seems to me that the only reason why people care about this is because of money. I'm sorry, but that's basically bullshit. So when it's these other controversies, somehow some of these people don't care. But when it hits the wallet, they somehow do care. My God, where's your standards, people? Now, it's not to say that Nintendo has not made good things in the past, or even great games. It doesn't necessarily mean they're excused from criticism. Because I'm the type of person who thinks that it's okay to criticize a company that you love. Which, in this case, the company is really shitty. But maybe you should treat us like any other company, and not feel betrayed when they do something like this. Well, I guess I shouldn't be that upset. At least more people are now more aware of Nintendo's evil, even if they do like the company. And contrary to everyone else, I don't think it's gonna be a Wii U failure. If anything, it might be a 3DS situation, where the console didn't sell well at first, but when they dropped down the prices, it became more successful. Might be the same case here. That being said though, I'm still kinda excited for the Switch 2, and I'm looking forward towards Donkey Kong Bonanza. But I do think it's really disappointing, but hey, it's Nintendo, it's not that surprising. I know I didn't cover everything. I know there's like the card key thing, the different prices between physical and digital games, the C button really worthless if you don't get to pay online,
And a fuck ton of other things.
but I think at the end of the day, I think the biggest fault here is Nintendo. Because their cockiness was their biggest hubris, and this is the result. Which hopefully they might change some things in the future. Or maybe not, who knows. Maybe they'll handle the Nintendo Roy Albert cheese better.